Hello, kids.
Hey Steve, it's Tammy. I just wanted to tell you that I think your YouTube channel is so awesome. It's one of my favorite. And also, I wanted to congratulate you on your 256th subscriber. That is so awesome, and I'm so excited for you. But one thing I think you need to do to your channel is I think you need to get more bench warmers, and I also think you need to paint your nails. Just saying. Anyway, good luck to you, Steve. Mwah.
Let's start today's home movies in 1975. There's Steve and his little friend. That one is Steve, in case you couldn't recognize him. And what could they be looking at? They're looking at a tow truck, heavy-duty tow truck, apparently. Oh, and there's our dad getting some branches out of the way because there's the family car in the pond behind our house. Steve and his friend were playing around in the car, pretending they were driving, released the emergency brake, put it into neutral, and off it rolled. How about that? And Dad worked as a pharmacist. He came home from work. That's why he's still in his white pharmacist jacket as the car comes out of the pond. And there's a bunch of bystanders because, hey, it's not every day you see a car coming out of a pond. And they were successful. Look at that. Look at the seaweed hanging off the front of the bumper there. Now fast forward to 1982. This is Steve's 11th birthday. He's got some stuff there. But look at this present. Pac-Man. Steve had Pac-Man fever, which will become a little more relevant later in the story. Now he's going to try again, see if his 11th birthday goes any better with the candles. Okay. Oh, he blew one out just by putting out the match. All right, try again. Gonna blow out the candles for real this time. Can he do it? Oh, first try. Nope. Try it again. Nope, still can't do it. Oh, geez, if you just quit smoking, I swear. I have something to show you that's not trading cards, but this was a little project I did back when the pandemic was revving up and everybody had to stay at home and starting to get a little bored. So I put together this retro arcade console. And during that time, I discovered Raspberry Pi. No, not the kind that you eat, but Raspberry Pi. Those little teeny tiny desktop computers. They're about the size of a deck of cards. Crazy, I know. Phones are smaller and phones are pretty powerful, but it's this big, and its hard drive, what would be its hard drive and its operating system, are on a micro SD card. One of these guys. One of these super tiny cards. There's 128 gigabytes on this thing. It's crazy. So anyways, Raspberry Pi desktop computer. Now, this can play all sorts of games. See, it's got a couple of joysticks. Let's take a closer look, shall we? So when you look at this, realize that I don't have the woodworking skills or the tools to have constructed this, so I did buy a kit. But I picked out the colors, and I did design the artwork that's on the surface here. These are Gallifreyan symbols. That's a Doctor Who thing. That's the language of the Time Lords. And I did have to wire the whole thing. Let's turn it on, shall we? Oh, there it goes. See, they all light up. Isn't that fun? And just so you see what's going on in here, you can open this. Look at that. Doesn't that look impressive? Doesn't that look like I must have been smart to do all of this? Well, and in fact, I was just following directions. It looks messy, but it was done one wire at a time. Very tedious. It was tedious more than anything, but got it all together. See, there's the Raspberry Pi computer in it, right there, hooked up. Got that blue wire that goes to an Ethernet. I can plug it into the internet, but it's also got the Raspberry Pi is built-in Wi-Fi, so that's fun. And yeah, it's impressive on the inside. Looks pretty cool on the outside. So let me show you some of the games it can play. Now the great thing about this is it's got dozens of different game systems just built in. You just scroll through and select the one you want to play. You got Dreamcast, Nintendo, Neo Geo, and this one, which is near and dear to our hearts, our family never had Atari. We had the Magnavox Odyssey 2. And now I could replay all those childhood Odyssey 2 games on this console. Recognize these games, Steve? We didn't have them all, but we had a bunch of those. And there it is. There's one of my favorites, UFO. Going nuts. Shooting at the little spinning X's. And you have a little force field around you that you could run into the things. Oh, and then you're done. Game over. Alright, let's look at another Odyssey 2 classic here. This is Alien Invaders, not to be confused with Space Invaders. And see, they had a little barrier that could defend them. And then you had to first shoot the little mushrooms, and then you had to shoot the guys. And look, if you got shot, you turned into the guy that was in the little pyramid that was shooting. And the only way you could get your shooting pyramid back is to sacrifice one of your barriers. All right, enough of that one. Look at all these different games we could play. All these different systems. It has just about all of them. I usually just go to whatever I played last. There's some good stuff here. Look at this one. This one I never played as a kid, but it's a lot of fun. Air Gallet or Air Galet. Taking off your fighter plane, and it's just shoot the hell out of everything. Anything that gets in your way. Oh, look at it. You just blow up everything. Look at that firepower. Just taking out everything in sight. Of course, the object is always not to get hit, which you can't sustain forever. Sooner or later, you blow up like that. All right, let's see what else we got on here. Lots of good stuff. I'm not going to show you all of it because that'll take forever. This is a fun one. This is also one I never played as a kid, but I like it. It's Soul Calibur. It's a fighting game, and there's really no point in playing Soul Calibur unless you play as Ivy Valentine. So there I am, and taking on this dude. Alright, battle 1. Come on, Ivy, let's take this guy. Look at her go. I'm good at playing a strong woman, beating the crap out of that guy. Love her sword. Turns into like this whip with these blades all over it. And that can do some serious damage. Knockout! Yay, Ivy. Love the replay. This sword is my treasure. Okay, let's take a look at one more game. This was one of my favorite games to play in the arcade when I was a kid. Bosconian. It's a really weird one. From the makers of Galaga and Galaxian. This one you're just kind of freewheeling around instead of being stuck at the bottom of the screen shooting up. You just fly the little spacecraft around, and the object is to take out all these space stations. And you can take out the space stations by blowing up all 6 of the little circles around them, or hitting it straight on in that little reactor in the middle there. I like that you can shoot out the back as well as the front, but, doesn't always help. So I hope you liked the retro arcade console. It was pretty fun to make. It takes a lot of patience, but anybody can do it really. You just gotta get the kit and all the games in that. You just download those. They're all free on the internet. Download whole images that have pretty cool transitions in between it. And there are hundreds and hundreds of them out there. It's just a matter of time, but hey, during the whole quarantine and safer at home and all that, I had plenty of time.
So, Kurt, did you ask anyone to prom yet?
Of course.
Well, who?
Well, she's from a different school and you wouldn't know her.
Yeah, right. I'll bet.
Yeah, well, at least I didn't ask my brother.
Hey, up yours.
I just pulled this book off my shelf for the first time in years. It's called 20th Century Poems for the 21st Century. And it's by Steve. In fact, it says right there, From the Mines of Monkey Fat. This one is called Oh. Sorrow tomorrow, card tricks just for kicks. I'm all right, just gotta stand and fight. No guts, no glory, no way, November. Panic is the way to live, from the Atlantic all the way to the Pacific. So there. I cannot die, for I am the Angel Queen. I am under pressure, and with it I get no pleasure. This is a lousy life. I don't even have one wife. Talk about a suicide blonde. You'll find me upside down in a pond. Not unlike the pond that Steve and his friend dropped a car into.
Remember, peace.